Every year, millions of people start a business. Someone opens a coffee shop. Someone launches a clothing brand. Someone opens a restaurant, a ghost kitchen, or buys into a franchise. But fast forward 5 years, and a huge chunk of those businesses are either shut down completely or the owner is still standing behind the counter every single day doing the exact same work they started with. But there's a quieter group of people out there, people whose businesses you've probably never even heard of. They don't show up on Shark-style investor shows. They don't post motivational reels on Instagram. They're not posing next to rented sports cars. And yet, every single month, serious money lands in their bank accounts without much drama at all. Here's the strange part. These businesses are so boring that if I just said their names out loud right now, some of you would probably close this video. But that boredom is exactly the point. It's the reason competition stays low. And there's a rule in business that holds up again and again. The businesses everyone ignores are often the ones quietly making the most money. In this video, we're going to look at 8 businesses that aren't glamorous at all. But if you build the right system around them, they can pay you for years without you having to hustle for every single sale. And by the end, I'll give you one principle that lets you judge almost any business in under 30 seconds. Whether it's a restaurant, a shop, or a brand new idea someone pitches you at a dinner party. Let's get into it. Let me introduce you to 2 people. We'll call them Alex and Sam. Both of them had the same amount of starting capital. Call it $20,000. Alex wanted a business people would notice, so Alex opened a beautiful cafe, designer interior, an imported espresso machine, warm lighting, a wall built specifically for photos. On opening day, there was a crowd. Reels got filmed. Photos got posted. Everyone was impressed. Sam did something almost embarrassing by comparison. The kind of business that makes people say, wait, that's actually a business? No ribbon cutting, no opening night, no social posts, just a small office, 3 employees, and a handful of signed contracts. 3 years later, Alex was still standing behind the counter of that cafe, waiting for the next customer to walk through the door. Sam, meanwhile, was on a beach somewhere, then in the mountains a few months later, taking actual vacations with family. At one point, Sam's phone buzzed with a notification, payment received, and Sam just locked the screen and went back to sleep. The real difference wasn't talent. It wasn't even the amount of money either of them started with. The difference was this. Alex had to go hunting for new customers every single day. Sam's customers were paying automatically every month without being chased. That's exactly the pattern we're about to walk through, 8 times over. Business number 8, commercial cleaning. If I told you that mops and buckets could build a company worth millions, you'd probably laugh. So try a small experiment instead. Next time you're in an office building or a shopping center, notice something specific. By 8 in the morning, the floor is already spotless. The restrooms are stocked and clean. The glass doors don't have a single smudge. The trash bins are already empty. Now ask yourself, who did that? And more importantly, who's paying for it? That's where this business lives. New office buildings, tech parks, hospitals, hotels, schools, and factories are being built constantly. And every single one of them needs the same thing on a daily basis: cleaning. This isn't a luxury purchase, it's a requirement. And businesses built around requirements tend to survive even when the economy slows down, because nobody stops needing a clean building just because sales are down. But the real strength of this business isn't the cleaning itself, it's the contract. Picture landing a 2-year cleaning agreement with a hospital. Suddenly, you're not hunting for a new customer every morning. That income is already booked, already predictable. Here's the mistake most people make when they think about this business. They assume they'll have to mop floors themselves. They won't. The owner's job isn't cleaning. It's landing clients, building systems, and making sure quality stays consistent. The team handles the actual work. And here's something worth remembering. The customer isn't really paying for cleaning. They're paying to stop worrying about it. Once someone knows their office will be spotless every single morning without fail, they stop comparing prices and start valuing reliability. In business, reliability might be the most expensive thing you can sell. Business number 7, pest control. It's 10 at night and a restaurant owner's phone rings. A cockroach just showed up in the kitchen, and a health inspector is scheduled to visit tomorrow. If this isn't handled immediately, one insect could cost that business thousands of dollars, or worse, its license. Now think about how many options that owner actually has in that moment. Basically none. That's exactly why pest control is such an interesting business. Customers almost never negotiate. Urgency removes the haggling entirely, and the more urgent the situation, the more valuable the solution becomes. Restaurants, hotels, food processing plants, warehouses, hospitals, apartment complexes, all of them need regular pest control, and it's not a one-time job. Service repeats every few months, and that repetition is what turns a single job into recurring revenue. There's another part of this business I genuinely love: referrals. If you solve one hotel's problem properly, that hotel won't just renew the contract, they'll tell every other hotel in their network. And the cheapest customer you'll ever get is the one who arrives because someone else vouched for you. That's why experienced operators focus on doing great work before they ever spend a dollar on advertising. One happy client can hand you 10 more for free. It might look boring on social media. It doesn't look boring in a bank statement. Business number 6, vending machines. Quick question. 10 years ago, if I told you that you could sell products without ever opening a shop, you'd probably have laughed. Today, in airports, train stations, hospitals, and corporate office lobbies, there's a salesperson working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week without complaint. That salesperson is a vending machine. Here's what makes it interesting. This machine never asks for a raise, never calls in sick, never takes a coffee break, and never complains about its shift. It only asks for one thing: the right location. There's an old line in business: the product can be copied, but the location can't. Vending runs entirely on that principle. Picture an office building with 1,500 employees, each grabbing a coffee, a snack, or a cold drink once or twice a day. Even at a few dollars a purchase, that adds up to real monthly turnover, and the machine never moves. Customers come to it. Smart operators don't really buy machines, they buy locations. Vending has also expanded well past chips and soda. Fresh coffee, protein shakes, ice cream, personal care items, phone accessories, fresh juice, and in some places even higher value specialty items. Opportunity keeps expanding while competition stays surprisingly thin. One morning, though, plenty of people obsess over which machine to buy and completely skip researching the location. And that's the single biggest mistake in this business. An average machine in a great location will still make money. An amazing machine in a bad location can lose money every single month. This isn't a machine business, it's a location business. Business number 5, commercial laundry. I'll bet you've never seen a laundry business owner turn into a social media influencer. No podcasts, no motivational speech, no glossy office tour, and yet every single morning their machines quietly start running. Here's a simple question. What do 5-star hotels, hospitals, hostels, gyms, spas, and restaurants all have in common? Every day, thousands of towels, uniforms, and bed sheets need to be washed. And not just washed, washed on time. If a hotel's sheets aren't ready, the room can't be sold. If a hospital's linens aren't clean, procedures get delayed. Laundry isn't a luxury, it's infrastructure. And once something becomes infrastructure for other businesses, demand for it rarely disappears. Most hotels and hospitals would rather outsource this than run it themselves. Why? Because machines are expensive, maintenance is expensive, and electricity, water, staffing, and repairs all become extra headaches. Business owners don't want to buy more headaches, they want them removed. That's exactly where the opportunity sits. Here's the pattern again. The income doesn't come from washing clothes. It comes from the contract. If you're running annual agreements with 20 different hotels, you don't wake up every morning wondering if you'll find a customer today. The customer is already locked in, and that's what makes the business stable. Business number 4, equipment and tool rental. A contractor needs a concrete cutter for 10 days. Now they have 2 choices: spend a few $1,000s buying the machine outright or pay a few $100s to rent it. If you were the contractor, which would you choose? Obviously the rental. That single decision is the entire foundation of the rental business. The golden rule here: people will pay more for access than they will for ownership. Streaming platforms, ride-sharing apps, music subscriptions, co-working spaces, they all run on this exact. Business number 3, ice vending machines. Simple question, on a hot day, what's the one thing almost every restaurant, gas station, campground, and lake house runs out of without warning? Ice. It sounds almost too basic to be a business, and that's exactly why most people overlook it completely. Here's the thing about ice. Demand for it barely changes decade after decade. Technology shifts, AI shows up everywhere, entire industries get disrupted, but coolers still need filling, drinks still need chilling, and events still need bagged ice by the truckload. When a product's demand never really disappears, ignoring that business is a mistake. Automated ice vending machines have quietly become a real growing niche. Bagged or bulk ice, available 24/7 at gas stations, grocery store parking lots, campgrounds, marinas, and convenience store lots. And here's the interesting part. The customer doesn't care whose logo is on the machine. They just want a bag of clean ice at 11 at night when every store nearby is closed. The businesses that win here are the ones selling convenience, not a brand. That's why these machines keep spreading quietly in warmer regions and tourist areas. Install the unit, set up a supply and maintenance route, add card and app payment, and the machine works around the clock, whether the owner is nearby or 1,000 miles away. The same mistake shows up here too. People obsess over the machine and ignore the location. A unit tucked into a quiet corner of an empty lot will barely earn its keep. The same unit placed outside a busy gas station, near a lake, or by a campground entrance could change your monthly income completely. When customers come to you automatically, your marketing costs drop close to zero. Business number 2, micro SaaS, small focused software. I'll guarantee you have at least 15 apps on your phone right now that you're paying for every single month, directly or indirectly. Streaming, music, cloud storage, AI tools, productivity apps, you name it. Know what all those companies love the most? Your monthly payment. Get the customer once and the income keeps coming back on its own. That exact model, built small and focused, has quietly created enormous businesses. It's called micro SaaS. The name sounds technical, but the idea is simple. One piece of software, solving one specific problem, sold as a monthly subscription. Think about a gym owner who needs to track members, log attendance, and send renewal reminders. Or a clinic that needs to manage appointments. A school that needs to collect fees. A distributor that needs to track inventory. Every business has some boring, repetitive problem sitting in the background. Here's the part people miss. Business owners aren't looking for innovation. They're looking for relief. If you can take an hour of someone's daily grind and shrink it down to 10 minutes, they'll happily pay you every single month for that relief. That's the exact principle behind the biggest software companies in the world. Save time, earn recurring revenue. The other advantage of micro SaaS is that once the software is built, it doesn't matter if one customer uses it or 10,000. There's no new factory for each new customer. No new warehouse, no new inventory to buy. That's exactly why software margins tend to be some of the highest in the business world. So why isn't this ranked number 1? Because the real number 1 isn't a business at all. It's a principle. And once you understand it, you'll be able to spot profitable businesses on your own, no matter how much the world changes, no matter what new technology shows up. Business number 1, the business that pays you again, and again, and again. If you've been paying attention, you've probably already noticed the pattern. Cleaning company, pest control, vending machines, commercial laundry, equipment rental, ice vending, software. All completely different businesses. Some run on employees, some on machines, some on technology, some on pure service. But every single one shared one thing in common, and that's the real number 1. Here's a simple question. Imagine you sold something today. A customer paid you, say, $500 and walked away. Tomorrow, if you want more income, what do you have to do? Find a new customer, market to them, sell to them, negotiate, deliver. And then next month, do the entire thing over again. And the month after that, if you ever stop, the income stops with you. Now imagine a different version of that same story. A customer signs a contract once, and the payment shows up automatically every single month after that. You're not convincing them again. You're not chasing them down. You're not reselling the same thing over and over. You just need to keep delivering good service. That difference has a name: recurring revenue. And honestly, it's the quiet secret behind almost every wildly successful business you can think of. Streaming subscriptions are monthly, music platforms are monthly, software is monthly, gym memberships are monthly, internet service is monthly, office cleaning is monthly, pest control renews every few months. Every single successful business creates some version of recurring income. It just looks different depending on the industry. That's exactly why smart operators ask one question before they ever commit to a business idea. How many times will this customer pay me? Once or repeatedly? Most people starting a business today ask the wrong question. They ask, how much profit is there? But the operators who end up genuinely wealthy ask a completely different question. How many times will this profit repeat? That one shift in thinking changes everything. So if you ask me which of these 8 businesses is the best one to start, my honest answer is none of them, specifically. The best business changes depending on your situation, your location, and your resources. But the best principle never changes. Find a business where the customer keeps paying you over and over without you having to ask every single time. Once that idea clicks, you'll never look at a business the same way again. Anytime someone tells you this is a great opportunity, you'll instinctively ask one question first. Is this recurring, or is this a one-time sale? That single filter alone can save you from chasing 90% of the mediocre opportunities out there. I want to end this with one thought. A lot of people assume wealthy entrepreneurs are chasing completely different businesses than everyone else. They're not. What they're actually doing differently is how they choose. They don't chase excitement, they chase cash flow. They don't chase trends, they build systems. They don't chase one-time sales, they build repeat customers. And maybe that's exactly why their businesses look so boring from the outside. Their bank balance, on the other hand, is never boring at all. So next time a business idea crosses your mind, ask yourself one question. Will this pay me once, or will it pay me every month? If even one of these 8 businesses is something you genuinely never considered before, let me know which one surprised you the most and why. And if you want more videos like this, real business models, real numbers, real strategies for building long-term wealth, not just motivational fluff, stick around for what's coming next.